After a little bit of an up and down week for Mississippi State. Started in the midweek with a win against Southern Miss, come from behind victory down in Pearl. Then they go to Frisco, Texas, a couple of losses, and then win the finale of that tournament yesterday against Cal by a final of 8-4. So, Coach, some kind of mixed results from the week. When you look back on these last 4 games, what's your takeaway?
Well, we're not consistent. That's probably the biggest thing is we're playing some good games, and we play good at times in the game, but we're having lapses right now in certain ones. Even the Southern Miss game that we won, we had the lead in the middle of the game, come out, give up a handful of runs. Fortunately, we come back and win that game against a really good team in front of a great crowd. And then kind of the same thing on Friday night. It's 1-1 game, and, we're a strike away from getting out of the inning. We end up giving up the big inning. So for us being able to manage the strike zone from the rubber, make our plays, and then just do the little things offensively. I think we left 16, 17, 18 guys on Friday night. So, disappointing to lose a game like that.
You've told us the last couple of weeks when we've talked that what you've seen from this team in the fall and in the practices leading up to the start of the year was that you were a good defensive team, and you still believe that to be the case. So Well, no, I'm not throwing that in your face.
No. I'm like, as we go, I'm starting to, like I told our coaches this morning, we're not a good defensive team right now, and you are what you are. And so just because we were good in the fall doesn't mean we're good right now. So we're really, trying to spend some extra time there. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. I was just saying I wasn't trying to throw that in your face. I mean, you've seen your team more than anybody else. Is this one of those things where it has become mental early in the season?
Well, I think it becomes that a little bit, right? I mean, I think we that first week we probably made more errors than we did in a month last year. So I think that kind of got us rolling in a bad direction. But I do have confidence in our guys out there defensively, and we're just working a little harder, doing a little bit extra, trying to figure it out, put the right guys in the right places. I think is a big thing from my side managing, but. I've talked a lot to the team about winning baseball lately, and we're doing a handful of small things that don't help us win games. And defense is one. You can always keep yourself in the game defensively just by making your plays. And it keeps good momentum on your side.
Coach, I thought you bookended the weekend with good pitching performances with Jurangelo Sinjay on Friday night getting the start and Nate Dome on Sunday in that incredible relief appearance. Let's start with Jurangelo. How would you assess his first Friday night start for your team?
I thought he was really good. I mean, he was real efficient. I've never said this about a guy, but both arms. I mean, he was good from both sides. Handled the moment because we had a big crowd out there in Frisco. We had a lot of people, so I thought he did a great job of handling their lineup and just pitching. And hopefully each week we can extend him a little bit more, trying to get him to be a 5th or 6th inning guy, which would really help. But it's different for him. Everybody thinks it's easier because it's half of one arm, but it's your whole body, So your body's, this kid hasn't pitched a ton of, that's probably one of his longest outings of his career he had Friday night. So just kind of constantly trying to move him forward a little bit, get him used to it, being in a rotation, those type of things.
Forgive a dumb question. I'm curious about this, and what you said makes sense there when you talk about like total body strength, and you think about a pitcher, it's like, oh, he threw 100 pitches, and that was the strain on the right arm, but I guess it's the whole body. If he was at a place physically, could he throw, as opposed to kind of switching back and forth right, left? I mean, could he theoretically throw 75 pitches with his right hand over the course of 4 innings and then flip around and go left-handed for the next 75 pitches?
I mean, he could. It's what the body takes, not so much the arm, And so I late in his start the other day, his right knee got, when he lands on from when he's throwing left hand, it was, bothered him a little bit. So he just went right-handed for the last 2 hitters, and he faced, threw right-handed to a left-handed hitter. So he just has some special things that he can do. He has that ability, but we're figuring out as time goes on, his work, his bullpens, his, as we're getting him going, it's new for all of us, but it's even new for him because he just hadn't pitched on this type of stage before, and pitched this much before. You know, he's been a shortstop his whole life for the most part.
Going back to the weekend with Nate Dome on Sunday, just incredible. And he's been really good for you thus far early in the season. With the way he pitched and able to give you 5 innings like that, is that a situation where you might look at moving him into the rotation?
Yeah, he's kind of that hybrid type of guy. So he can kind of do a little bit of everything. So we're using him, you know, he could start, he could come in relief. You know, it probably depends on how the weekend plays out. So, but he's special talent. I think the last pitch he threw was 98. You know, and he's super efficient, which we haven't been super efficient lately. Even our best guy, Landon Gartman's a great pitcher. You know, 95 pitches and 4 innings this weekend. We just, you know, we have to pitch more. We have to attack the zone more. And so Nate was a guy who did that. He just ran out there and won the ball game, which was nice to see.
Coach, anything you can tell us about Cade Smith and kind of his progress and when you might see him again?
Well, who was that again? I'm sorry, I lost you.
Yeah, with Cade Smith, the Friday starter, obviously the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's just you know, a little sore right now, so we're week to week just kind of watching him, seeing where he's at. We have a handful of guys that kind of in that scenario, so kind of limiting us a little bit of what we're doing on the mound. So, but you know, he's progressing, and hopefully we'll have him back here soon.
Is Aaron Nixon in that group as well, Coach, of guys you just can't go to right this second?
Yes, he is. So he's in that group too. Kind of the same answer for him, you know. So,
Coach, when you look at this next stretch of games, Valpo on Tuesday night, then the series against Lipscomb, and you got a couple of games down in Biloxi before you jump into league play. How important is this, I don't know, next 6-7 game stretch to kind of get things moving in the right direction and get some confidence kind of up and down the lineup and in the field and on the mound and all of those things?
They're real important. And everybody we're playing, they're all playing good. You know, I'm not going to act like everybody's the Yankees, but, you know, Lipscomb went down and played Auburn head-to-head all weekend long, you know, and got some really good arms there on their staff. And Valpo's playing well. And we got Louisiana Lafayette next week, who's a really good team, and Nichols is playing well. Like, for us, we're trying to – the message keeps being about being consistent. You know, us bringing it to the ballpark, we keep coming. We'll play a really good game. I mean, we had beaten Arizona State, and Southern Miss, and then we come out on Friday night, and we actually do a great job against the best arm in the whole tournament is who we faced on Friday night. And we did a great job of getting them out in the fifth and having a tie game, and then, boom, we have mental lapses, and next thing you know, we're chasing them. And if we'd have just stayed in there and done the little things, we'd have been right in the middle of a good ball game. So for us to figure ourselves out, and I got to get the right pieces in the right spots, you know, and so I've probably held on to a handful of guys, and you may see some new guys this week of just trying to, you know, we got to become a better defensive team. We got to throw more strikes. We got to defend the run game a little bit better. So there's some things that from my side I got to make a couple changes.
Coach, you've given Bradley Lofton the last 2 Tuesday starts. Is he going to go on the mound for you tomorrow as well?
Yes, he'll throw tomorrow. So he's rested and got a full week and be ready to go. And, you know, very talented freshman.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best this week and look forward to talking to you next Monday.
Thanks, guys.